Every little comment, every small setback, if it all gets under your skin, you're handing away your power. The truth is, the strongest people aren't living problem-free lives. They've simply mastered the way they respond. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No more overthinking, no more emotional outbursts, just calm, steady control. In this video, I'm going to show you how to train your mind to act as if nothing bothers you, so you can stop feeling trapped by your emotions and start owning them instead. Because once you master this skill, nothing and no one will ever control you again. Life is full of noise, opinions, frustrations, setbacks. The world will never stop throwing distractions, criticism, and roadblocks your way. But here's the truth. Real strength comes from mastering the art of indifference. Picture yourself walking straight through a storm, calm, collected, unshaken. That's what it means to act as if nothing bothers you. The key is learning how to detach your emotions from whatever life throws at you. When you let external events control your mood, you become a puppet on someone else's strings. But when you train your mind to stay steady, you reclaim control over your life. The world respects the ones who stay calm in chaos, the ones who don't break under pressure. When you carry that kind of mindset, you don't need to raise your voice to be heard. Your presence speaks for you. You move through the world with quiet power and unshakable confidence. Think about the most influential people in history. They weren't the ones reacting to every insult, every challenge, every piece of criticism. They walked with calm, almost as if they knew something the rest of us didn't. Their strength wasn't in lashing out. It was in their ability to remain centered and unaffected. That's the real power of indifference. Look at every piece of success literature, every story of self-mastery, and you'll see one simple truth. Thought shapes reality. What you think, you become. And if you allow every emotion, every trigger, every little setback to control you, you'll spend your life in reaction mode. But when you learn to hold steady, to act as if nothing bothers you, you step into a life where you control the outcome. And that, right there, is where real freedom begins. You give away your power the moment you let the world dictate your emotions. But if you cultivate an unshakable mindset, the world starts to bend to your will. Those who achieve greatness understand this one truth: control your mind, and you control your reality. Imagine standing in a crowded place, and someone hurls an insult at you. Most people would snap back, lash out, or shrink into defense. But what happens when you simply smile and walk away? You strip the instigator of their power. They expected you to react. They wanted control over your emotions, but your silence, your calm, leaves them powerless, and you walk away stronger, untouchable, undefeated. This is the silent dominance few understand, but everyone respects. The same applies to failure and setbacks. When most people face rejection, they drown in self-pity. They waste days, weeks, even years stuck in frustration, reliving the moment over and over again. But those who master the power of indifference see failure for what it really is: not a dead end, not a verdict, but data feedback, a lesson, and they use it to adapt, adjust, and move forward without breaking their stride. How do you build this kind of inner strength? It starts with training your mind. Every single day, practice pausing before you react. Ask yourself, will this matter a week from now, a year from now? Is this reaction going to move me forward, or am I handing away my power again? When you consistently choose calm over chaos, you build an invisible armor, one that shields you from the noise and drama of the world. Another powerful tool is visualization. See yourself walking through life unshaken. Imagine becoming the person who doesn't flinch at insults, who doesn't fold under pressure. The more you reinforce that image, the more your mind starts to believe it. And when your mind believes it, your reality changes. People will wonder how you stay so composed. They'll question your silence. They'll sense your strength even if they can't explain it. And that is the secret: in the silence, in the calm, in the control. That's where true power lives, because real strength isn't about shouting louder or striking harder. It's about a presence so steady, so grounded that it never needs to prove itself, a presence that speaks volumes even in silence. Master this, and you master life. The ability to stay unshaken is the foundation of true strength. Think about the strongest people you know. They don't react impulsively. They don't let emotions dictate their decisions. They pause, they assess, and they respond with intention. It's not that they don't feel emotions, it's that they've mastered them. Emotional detachment isn't about suppressing what you feel, it's about controlling how you respond. Imagine yourself in a heated argument. Someone is trying to provoke you. They want a reaction. They want to control your emotions. But the moment you choose not to respond, the moment you smile, knowing their words have no power unless you give them permission. You win emotional detachment is refusing to hand over your peace to anyone or anything. It's the understanding that your inner world is sacred, untouchable. When you embrace this mindset, stress fades, clarity sharpens, and life's challenges stop feeling like battles and start looking like puzzles waiting to be solved. Remember the principle that thoughts shape reality. What you focus on, you attract. When you let the outside world control your state of mind, you become a slave to circumstance. But when you take control of your thoughts and emotions, you become the architect of your destiny. Think about the man who lost everything. His business collapsed, his investments vanished, and he was left with nothing. Most people would sink into despair, but he didn't. He looked at failure as feedback, not defeat. He knew his greatest asset wasn't his bank account, but his mind, and no external loss could ever take that away. With this mindset, he rebuilt everything stronger than before. That is the power of detachment. When you stop identifying with setbacks, you give yourself permission to rise beyond them. The reason so many people never reach their goals is simple: emotional turbulence, fear, doubt, frustration. They let temporary emotions cloud their judgment. They start with ambition, but abandon it the moment things get hard. But those who master detachment know emotions are just passing clouds. They don't let momentary feelings destroy long-term dreams. They persist, they adapt, and they win because their mind has been trained to see every obstacle as a stepping stone, not a wall. Training yourself to be emotionally detached doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means refusing to let the outside world control your inner peace. You can feel joy, sadness, excitement, and disappointment, but you stay in command. Your emotions work for you, not against you. To develop this mindset, practice the art of pausing in emotionally charged moments. The next time someone insults you, stop before you react. Observe what you feel and ask yourself, does this truly affect my life in any meaningful way? More often than not, the answer is no, and the moment you choose not to react, you take away their power and hold on to your own detachment. Is also fueled by having a clear purpose. When your vision is strong enough, the noise of petty distractions can't shake you. Your focus becomes unbreakable because you understand your energy is too precious to waste on anything that doesn't serve your mission. The world belongs to those who master themselves. The more you train your mind to stay calm, the more unstoppable you become. While others panic, you remain steady. While others react, you respond with intention, and in that control lies an advantage that few will ever reach. True strength isn't about physical power or loud displays of dominance. It's about presence, a quiet force that commands respect without saying a word. When you master emotional detachment, you don't just survive life, you shape it. Mindful indifference is a superpower. We've been conditioned to believe we must care about everything: people's opinions, their validation, their judgments. Society teaches us that our worth depends on how much we invest in the expectations of others. But real freedom begins the moment you realize most things simply don't matter. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, ask, will this still matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, let it go. Most of the things that consume us, criticism, setbacks, failures, embarrassment, all fade with time. Yet we allow them to control our emotions and dictate our actions. Learning to let go and hold your peace. This is why mastering indifference is the key to reclaiming your power. Indifference doesn't mean apathy. It means knowing what deserves your attention and what doesn't. It's about understanding that your energy is limited and choosing to invest it in the things that actually matter. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every opinion is worth entertaining. And the moment you stop reacting to every little inconvenience, you shift from being emotionally reactive to becoming strategically responsive. And that shift changes everything. Think about the people you admire most. They are not the ones chasing approval or overreacting to every challenge. They are the ones who stay calm, centered, and unshaken by the noise around them. They know exactly who they are, and because of that, no one can easily manipulate or influence them. Once you adopt this mindset, something powerful happens. People begin to respect you not because you demand it, but because your presence commands it. In a world where everyone is desperate to fit in, to be liked, to conform, the person who stands grounded in self-worth becomes unstoppable. Imagine a moment where someone unfairly criticizes you. The weak react instantly. They defend themselves, they over-explain, they lash out, but the strong remain still. They know that words only hold power if they give them permission to, and by choosing not to react, they win both the moment and the respect of everyone watching, because self-respect speaks louder than any argument. The same truth applies to success. Those who rise to greatness are not wasting time or energy on petty drama or or outside opinions, they are locked and focused and driven. They know that every second spent worrying about irrelevant things is a second stolen from their growth, their peace, and their future. So how do you cultivate this level of indifference? You start by paying attention to your reactions. The next time you feel anger, frustration, or anxiety rise over something small, pause and ask yourself, is this truly worth my energy? Most times the answer will be no. Train yourself to release what does not serve you and protect your peace. Another powerful step is setting clear priorities. Define what truly matters to you, your purpose, your growth, your peace of mind, because when you build your life on a strong foundation of self-worth, the judgments and opinions of others lose their power. You become untouchable, not because you feel nothing, but because you care deeply about the right things. This is the truth most people never realize. Real power is not found in chasing approval, but in being unmoved by rejection. It's the strength to walk away from what drains you, the wisdom to rise above petty conflicts, and the focus to stay locked on your goals in a world designed to distract you at every turn. It's not about caring less, it's about caring wisely, choosing where to place your attention and refusing to waste it on what doesn't deserve your time, because once you master the art of indifference, you don't just survive, you thrive. And in a world where everyone is busy chasing likes and begging for validation, the one who stands strong in their own self-worth will always rise above the rest. Stops. It places your happiness in the hands of others and makes your peace dependent on their opinions. The truth is, no one's view of you should ever outweigh your own. The moment you hand someone else the power to define your worth, you surrender control over your life. Real confidence is never given. It's built from self-reliance, from knowing that you don't need permission to be yourself. Think about the most magnetic people you've ever met. They don't shrink to fit and they don't beg to be accepted. They stand tall, fully aware of who they are, flaws and all. And that is what makes them truly powerful. Their strength lies in their unwavering sense of self. While others chase validation, they walk their own path unapologetically and with purpose. The need for approval. But here's the truth. The more you seek approval, the more you surrender your power. You become a prisoner to expectations, bending and twisting yourself to fit into molds designed by others. And in the process, you betray yourself. True freedom begins the moment. Release the need to be liked by everyone, because universal approval is nothing but an illusion. No matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. Some will admire you, others will criticize you, and many won't care at all. So why waste your energy trying to please everyone? Think about the people who have changed the world. Leaders, innovators, creators. They are not concerned with fitting in. They are driven by vision, by purpose, by the fire burning within them. They face criticism, yet remain unfazed. Their confidence is not built on applause. It is built on unshakable self-belief. And that is what makes them unstoppable. If you want to break free from the approval trap, start by asking yourself, whose opinion truly matters? More often than not, the loudest voices belong to those who do not walk your path, understand your journey, and their words only carry weight if you allow them to. Another powerful step is learning to validate yourself. Acknowledge your own growth, celebrate your wins, big or small. When you recognize your own worth, external approval loses its grip. You no longer need applause to feel worthy. You simply know you are, and that is enough. Detaching from validation doesn't mean becoming arrogant or dismissive. It means standing firm in who you are. It means trusting your decisions and refusing to let anyone else define your path. It means understanding that your value is not up for debate or negotiation. The moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you start living freely. You no longer filter your dreams, your words, or your actions through the lens of others' expectations. You move through life with authenticity, with courage, with a sense of purpose that cannot be shaken. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. And that's perfectly okay. The ones who matter will respect you, not because you beg for their approval, but because you no longer need it. So choose yourself, stand firm in your beliefs, in your values, and in your vision. Let go of the need for external validation and embrace the power of self-acceptance. Because once you do, you become untouchable, not because you have everyone's approval, but because you've realized you don't need it. Handling criticism is one of the greatest tests of strength, because criticism is inevitable, but how you respond defines who you become. Most people crumble at the first sign of disapproval. They let every comment sink deep into their hearts, allowing it to shape their identity, control their actions, and weaken their resolve. But why criticism is nothing more than words, opinions, and perspectives, usually from people who don't even understand your journey. The criticism only has the power you choose to give it. When you react emotionally, you hand over control But when you filter it through logic, you stay in command. The strongest individuals don't let criticism shake them. They face it with a clear mind. They take what's useful and discard the rest. No unnecessary emotion, no overreaction. Just focus on what truly matters. The real lesson is simple: filter criticism through logic, not emotion. Keep what serves you, ignore what doesn't, and never let someone's opinion disturb your peace. There are two types of criticism: constructive and destructive. Constructive criticism is gold. It helps you grow. It comes from people with experience, knowledge, and a genuine wish to see you improve. This is the feedback you welcome. Is destructive. It's meant to break you. It often comes from jealousy, insecurity, or lack of understanding, and it only becomes powerful if you make the mistake of believing it. Imagine sculptor working on his masterpiece. As he chisels away, people stop to watch. Some admire his work, some offer thoughtful suggestions, others mock and criticize. But does the sculptor abandon his vision because of a few negative voices? No, he continues, guided by his inner vision, filtering out the noise. And that's exactly how you must approach criticism. Whenever someone tries to tear you down, ask yourself, does this person have the experience or credibility to judge me? If the answer is yes, reflect on their words. If not, move on. Their opinions are just noise. Most criticism comes from people who've never done what you are trying to do. Their words reflect their own limitations, not yours. Criticism is a test of emotional resilience. The weak react impulsively. They get defensive, argue, or retreat into self-doubt. The strong stay calm. They stay focused. They stay unmoved. They acknowledge criticism, process it, but never allow it to disturb their inner peace. Because when you respond to criticism with calm indifference, you show the world that your confidence is unshakable. Think about the great minds throughout history, visionaries, creators, and leaders. Every single one of them faced relentless criticism. Their ideas were doubted, their decisions were questioned, and their dreams were attacked. Yet they pressed forward, refusing to let outside noise dictate their direction. Their ability to stand firm in the face of doubt is what set them apart, because they understood that criticism is often the price of progress. If you want to build this mindset, practice detachment. The next time someone criticizes you, pause, take a deep breath, and don't react immediately. Instead, ask yourself, is there truth or value in these words? If yes, learn from it. If not, discard it. Mastering this habit you from the emotional burden of seeking approval. Another powerful strategy is self-conviction. When you genuinely believe in your path and in yourself, the opinions of others lose their power over you. True confidence is built from within, not handed to you by the approval or disapproval of the world. The moment you fully embrace that, you become immune to shallow criticism. The world will always have something to say. Some will praise you, some will doubt you, some won't understand you at all. But and the only opinion that defines your life is your own. The real power is in hearing criticism, evaluating it rationally, and moving forward without losing your focus. So the next time someone criticizes you, remember, it's just noise. Learn from it. If it serves you, ignore it. If it doesn't, and never let it define you. Because the strongest people do not fear criticism. They either use it to sharpen their edge, or they leave it behind and walk forward with quiet, unshakable strength. And when the pressure rises, and the world watches too, see if you will break. Remember, true character is revealed not when things are easy, but when the storm is at its worst. Keep your composure under pressure, because pressure doesn't break the strong, it reveals them. Some break, some fold, but the strong remain unshaken. Why? Because they prepare their minds long before the storm ever arrives. They understand that pressure isn't a surprise, it's a certainty. And when you expect challenges, you stop being blindsided by them. The real secret is learning to detach from the need for control, because the truth is, not everything will go according to plan. People will disappoint you, obstacles will rise, and unexpected setbacks will hit you when you least expect them. But the difference between the weak and the strong is simple. You don't react emotionally. You respond with strategy, with calm, with clarity. Most people crack under pressure because they resist reality. They expect life to be smooth, predictable, and fair, and when it isn't, they panic, they freeze, or they give up. But those who train their minds to embrace uncertainty adapt. They move with the chaos instead of fighting against it. Think of a seasoned warrior. He never steps onto the battlefield expecting an easy fight. He expects resistance, ambushes, and unforeseen threats. But he remains calm, not because the battle is easy, but because he has already accepted the reality of conflict. He doesn't waste energy wishing for comfort. He focuses on execution. You must adopt the same mindset. Life will test you. It will throw stress, failure, and doubt at you. But if you've trained yourself to stay composed under pressure, nothing will shake you. While others scramble in fear, you will move with precision. You won't react, you'll respond. There is power in mastering control, not over the world, but over yourself. The moment you let go of the need for perfection is the moment you become unstoppable. When you understand that pressure is inevitable, you stop fearing it and start seeing it for what it truly is, an opportunity to sharpen your composure. Look at the greatest leaders, the most unshakable minds. They don't flinch in chaos. They don't crumble when things go wrong. They project calm, confidence, and control. That is what makes them stand out. People look at them and wonder, how does nothing seem to shake them? How do they stay so composed while everyone else falls apart? The answer is simple. They've trained their minds to expect difficulty. They've rehearsed their reactions long before the test ever arrived. They know emotions cloud judgment, so they detach from unnecessary feelings. They choose logic over panic, and in doing so, they hold an advantage that most people will never understand. To build this level of control, start by shifting your perspective on pressure. See it as a game, a test of your discipline. When stress hits, challenge yourself to stay composed. Observe your emotions, but don't let them dictate your actions. The more you practice this, the more natural it will become. Another essential practice is preparation. The strongest individuals don't wait for pressure to arrive, they train for it. They mentally rehearse worst-case scenarios, conditioning their minds to remain steady when stress strikes. When you do this, nothing catches you off guard. You become a strategist, not a reactor. Most people go through life unprepared, relying on hope instead of discipline. They expect things to go in their favor, and when they don't, they crumble. But those who train their minds for adversity, who prepare themselves for life's challenges, they don't break. They don't fold. They stand firm, unaffected. So, the next time pressure builds, remind yourself, this is my test, my moment to prove control. While others panic, you will breathe. While others react, you will calculate. And when the storm passes, you'll be standing, untouched, unshaken, unbreakable. Letting go of what you can't control is the next step. Suffering often comes from attachment to outcomes, to expectations, to things outside of our control. We cling tightly to what we think should happen, to how we believe life should unfold. And when reality doesn't align with our desires, we feel pain. But true mental strength lies in letting go. Picture a river. Water flows around obstacles, never resisting, never fighting. It doesn't demand that rocks move out of its way, nor does it stop when it faces resistance. It adapts. That's how you must approach life. Some things will happen, no matter how much you stress over them. The job offer that never came, the person who walked away, the setback you didn't see coming. You have two choices: resist and suffer, or adapt and move forward. The choice is always yours. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about shifting your focus to what you can control. Clinging to expectations only makes you fragile. It traps you in a cycle of frustration, replaying past events, questioning what could have been different. But when you embrace the reality that some things are beyond your influence, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Think about the strongest people you know. They're not the ones who fight against the inevitable. They're the ones who remain calm in the face of uncertainty. They've mastered detachment, not from life, but from the illusion of control. They understand that life is unpredictable, and peace comes from flowing with it, not against it. Most people spend their energy trying to force outcomes. They attach their happiness to specific results. If things go as planned, they feel satisfied. If not, they fall apart. But that's a weak way to live. True strength comes from being adaptable. When you detach from rigid expectations, you build a resilience that makes you unstoppable. No event, no disappointment, no setback can break you. The key to letting go is awareness. The next time you find yourself holding on to something too tightly, an outcome, a person, an expectation, pause. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, release it. Don't waste your energy on what you cannot change. Redirect it towards something that moves you forward. Detachment is a skill that requires practice. Start small. Let go of minor frustrations, like the long line at the store, the slow traffic, the unexpected change of plans. Observe how freeing it feels to not react, to not let external circumstances dictate your mood. Over time, Apply this mindset to bigger challenges. Some may confuse detachment with indifference, but they're not the same thing. Indifference is apathy, a refusal to engage with life. Detachment, on the other hand, is a deep understanding that while you can fully participate in life, you don't have to be ruled by its uncertainties. You can care deeply about your goals, your relationships, and your experiences, but you don't have to suffer when things don't go as expected. The moment you choose to let go of what you can't control, you become untouchable. You walk through life with a sense of peace that others admire but can't comprehend. While they are consumed by frustration and disappointment, you remain steady, unshaken. They wonder how you do it, how nothing seems to disturb your composure. The truth is, you've simply mastered the art of letting go. Stop resisting. Accept what is. Adapt to what comes. And above all, remember, the strongest minds do not cling. They flow, just like a river. They move forward, untouched by the obstacles in their path. Silence is the ultimate power move. In a world obsessed with noise, silence is a weapon. Most people speak to fill space, to gain validation, or to prove something. But the most powerful individuals don't speak unnecessarily. They listen, they observe, they calculate, and when they finally speak, every word carries weight. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to second-guess themselves, to analyze your thoughts, to wonder what you think. The one who speaks less holds more control. Words reveal, but silence conceals. When you master the art of silence, you shift the power dynamics in your favor. You gain control over conversations, over situations, over how people perceive you. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it with explanations, justifications, and unnecessary words. But when you hold back, you force others to reveal themselves. The more they speak, the more they expose their thoughts, their insecurities, and their intentions. Meanwhile, you remain a mystery, and in that mystery lies power. Imagine being in a negotiation. The person across from you presents an offer and expects an immediate response. Instead of rushing to reply, you take a moment of silence. You let the weight of your pause sink in, making them wonder what's going through your mind. In that silence, you hold the upper hand. Instead of reacting, you pause. You let silence stretch. The longer you wait, the more unsettled they become. They start second-guessing themselves. They fill the silence with better terms, with compromises, with desperation. Why? Because silence creates tension, and tension creates leverage. This principle applies to everyday interactions. The next time someone insults you, stay silent. Most people expect a reaction, anger, defense, retaliation. When you give them nothing, they lose power over you. They start wondering if their words had any effect. They feel foolish. Your silence forces them to deal with their own emotions, rather than feeding off yours. Silence is also a powerful tool for observation. When you talk less, you notice more. You catch the hesitation in someone's voice, the nervous shift in their posture, the contradiction in their words. Most people miss these cues because they're too busy speaking. But when you master silence, you become a strategist. You gather information without revealing a thing. There's a reason the world's most influential figures are not the loudest in the room. They choose their words with precision. They don't waste energy on meaningless chatter. They understand that speaking less doesn't mean knowing less. In fact, it means knowing more. If you want to cultivate power through silence, start practicing restraint. The next time you're in a conversation, pause before speaking. Observe the room. Listen more than you talk. Let others reveal themselves first. The less you say, the more people will lean in. When you finally speak, your words will carry weight. Another way to harness silence is to embrace it in moments of high emotion. When you're angry, stay silent. When you're insulted, stay silent. When someone demands an immediate response, delay it. The ability to control your speech in intense situations is the ultimate demonstration of discipline, and discipline commands respect. Powerful people are not reactive. They don't let emotions dictate their words. They understand that silence can be a response in itself. A pause can say more than a sentence. A moment of quiet can shift an entire interaction. The next time you're in a situation where someone expects you to react, don't. Stay silent. It's in that silence that your power is revealed. Let them wonder. Let them reveal themselves. Watch as the power shifts in your favor. In a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the one who speaks the least often holds the most influence. master silence, and you master control. Train yourself to stay calm, no matter what. Your mind is your battlefield. The thoughts you allow in will determine whether you win or lose. Every doubt, every fear, every hesitation, they are enemies that must be conquered. The strongest individuals aren't those who never face negative thoughts, but those who refuse to be controlled by them. To train an unshakable mind, you must build mental habits, gratitude to counter negativity, discipline to override laziness, detachment to eliminate suffering. Just as the body grows stronger through resistance, the mind becomes resilient through daily training. You can't expect mental toughness to appear in moments of crisis if you haven't conditioned yourself for it. Every day, you must train yourself to be unfazed, to pause before reacting, to breathe before responding. Most people are slaves to their emotions, reacting impulsively, acting out of fear, surrendering to frustration. But the ones who control their minds control everything. This is how warriors think. This is how leaders operate. They do not allow distractions, disappointments, or insults to shake them. They move through life with a sense of purpose, a deep-rooted calm that others cannot comprehend. And because of this, they become unbreakable. Understand this. Mental strength is built in the small, everyday moments. It's in waking up early when you'd rather sleep. It's in choosing to stay silent when you could argue. It's in pushing forward when everything inside you wants to quit. The mind, like a muscle, grows through resistance. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen it. One of the most powerful mental habits you can develop is detachment. When you learn to separate yourself from emotions, from outcomes, from external chaos, you gain an advantage over those who are constantly reacting. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means control. It means understanding that you cannot control the world, but you can always control your response to it. Imagine a storm. Most people get caught in the winds, tossed around by circumstances, struggling against forces they can't control. But those with unshakable minds, they stand firm, grounded, letting the storm pass around them. They don't waste energy fighting the uncontrollable. They reserve their strength for what truly matters. Crucial element of mental strength is discipline. The mind will always seek comfort, ease, and the path of least resistance. This is why most people never achieve true strength. They give in to distractions, procrastination, and self-doubt. But discipline rewires the mind. When you consistently choose discipline over comfort, you reshape yourself into someone unstoppable. Start small. Commit to habits that reinforce your mental strength. Meditate to sharpen your focus. Exercise to build discipline. Read to expand your mind. Keep your word to yourself, no matter how small the promise. Over time, these small acts build into something powerful, an unshakable mind. The world will test you. People will challenge you. Life will throw obstacles your way. But the moment you master your mind, nothing external can shake you. You'll move through life with a level of confidence, control, and power that few ever achieve. And when others ask how you remain so steady, so unbothered, so composed, you'll know the answer. You trained for this. You built this. And nothing can take it from you. Master the art of moving in silence. Real power moves quietly. It doesn't seek attention. It doesn't need validation. It simply acts and lets the results speak for themselves. The loudest people in the room are often the weakest. They crave recognition, announce their intentions, and seek approval. But the strongest, they move quietly, strategically, with precision. That if you want to earn respect, stop announcing your plans. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. Just do the work. Just make progress. Success isn't built through words. It's built through action. The more you talk, the more you invite doubt, scrutiny, and resistance. But when you work in silence, no one sees you coming. By the time they notice, it's too late. The strongest individuals don't waste energy proving themselves. They let their success do the talking. They don't argue. They don't seek to impress, and they don't over-explain. They move with certainty, and that certainty commands respect. The moment you stop seeking validation, you become unstoppable. There's a reason why the most influential figures in history weren't constantly talking about their next move. They understood that power doesn't lie in promises. It lies in execution. They didn't waste time explaining their vision to people who wouldn't understand. They simply built, created, and dominated in silence. That if you want to master this, Develop the discipline to keep your ambitions private. Work relentlessly, but don't seek applause. Let people wonder about your next move. Let them question how you stay so composed, so unfazed. The less they know, the more control you have. Silence isn't passive, it's strategic. It forces people to fill in the gaps, to speculate, to overthink. And in that uncertainty, you gain power. When you do speak, your words will carry weight. People will listen, not because you demand attention, but because they know you don't waste words. In a world where everyone is desperate to be noticed, be the one who doesn't seek recognition. While others chase attention, you chase mastery. While they focus on appearing successful, you focus on actually becoming successful. This is the difference between those who talk about doing great things and those who actually do them. If you feel the urge to explain your plans, resist it. If you feel the need to prove yourself, hold back. If you want to show the world your progress, let your results speak for you. The moment you stop seeking external validation, you'll notice something. People will start paying attention. They'll wonder how you did it. They'll question how nothing ever seems to bother you. And that's when you'll know you've truly mastered the game. Not because you told the world, but because you showed it, without saying a word. Remember, success is built in silence. Let your actions speak louder than words ever could. When you stop seeking validation and just focus on doing the work, that's when you'll become unstoppable. Don't waste energy explaining yourself. Let your results do all the talking. That if you're ready to master the art of moving in silence, start today. Keep your ambitions to yourself, work relentlessly, and let the world wonder how you're doing it. When they ask how you stay so unbothered, you'll know you've cracked the code. If this message resonated with you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the less you say, the more powerful you become.